Hi, my name is Stu Penrose. This is really secret stuff, and I trust you guys with this. This is the first issue in my technical subversion series about how to write a bad wiki page. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is know your enemy. Your enemy is idealistic. To defeat him, you have to know him. His goal is to share useful information. His goal is to have shared ownership of content. And his goal is to have living documentation. So let's see what we can do to subvert this fellow. Strategy number 1. You need to obscure the source. The rationale here is if people don't know where the information is coming from, they don't have enough information to make judgments about it, and they won't trust it, won't use it, won't maintain it. So, what can we do? Write your wiki pages as if it were your personal blog, but don't say where it comes from. Second, use the wiki as your personal scratch or notepad. So, stack traces, incomplete thoughts, works in progress. Whatever you do, the most important thing to note is to be sure not to include your name or provide any clues that this is just yours and it's private or anything like that. So, strategy number 1. Strategy number 2, obscure the goal of the page. If people don't know what the page is supposed to be, they'll never touch it because they don't want to screw it up. We can use this. Right? So first, don't include an overview section at the beginning of the page. You want to just jump right in. Second, choose a name that is more generic than the content. I think of an example, the Apple computer could be the name of your wiki page, and it could be about debugging something with a command line tool. All right, third, write a page that has no obvious reason to live. So, really what you want to do is jump directly into the technical details without providing a context. Works every time. So some tips. This strategy can be tricky. You have to think hard and come up with a specific vision for the page. For example, this page constitutes the minutes of the 2010 February, well, that's not really a date. Tricky. Just think if you're paying attention. And then you need to be careful not to state that. All right? So if you don't know what the intent is, you can't not state it. So you have to think hard about that. And second, as you are writing the page, do your best to assume that you are the only person that will ever read it. Because otherwise you're going to inadvertently get things in there, considerations of your audience. No. All right. Next, obscure the temporal context. Rationale here is users will not maintain a wiki page when it is written in such a way that it gives the appearance of being current when you know that it has a near zero chance of being continually maintained. So the tactic, use titles that imply currency. For example, recent developments, or news, hot topics, next release, current standards. Works every time. Next tactic, present your content as if it is correct in an absolute, ongoing, and general sense. For example, Java is not supported on Linux. Perfect. All right? You don't want to do something like this. As of this writing, tell people when you wrote it, you don't want to get this information there. Keep it general. Next, another example, maybe Surefire plugin does not relay system properties to spawn JVMs. Perfect, because no one's ever going to use that plugin. Or, see, what's really going to happen is they know that they can use that plugin, and they're going to look at this page and think, this is crap, I'm not going to use this wiki. So, the bad thing would be to actually include the version number, explain that this might not be absolutely true for all time. Another example, the best way to find out this sort of information is to contact Joe Schmo in the accounting department and give their extension. So that's good because, stuff's going to go bad. People know this. You're not going to use this page. The bad thing to do is, state who you are, because, that way people would know that this little section of the page is constrained in some way, and give some idea of what the temporal context was. So. Final strategy, use the voice of authority. So the rationale here is write a wiki page as if you are the official representative of truth It's a guaranteed way to make people mistrustworthy.